On today's Royally Us, Meghan Markle returns to Instagram and launches a new show on Netflix. So will this new business venture sink or swim? PR expert David Johnson weighs in.
I think she would be smarter if she really stepped away from the limelight, I would say, for her, for at least a year or two.
And Princess Kate is hugely grateful after this past year, as rumors swirl about where the royal children will attend school. We've got that plus so much more in today's Royally Us. Hello everyone and welcome to Royally Us. I'm Christina and that's Christine. Happy New Year. Welcome back. It's been a minute.
I know. I mean, we thought we'd have a quiet Christmas, holiday, New Year season. Obviously not, because we have so much to get into. But I'm so optimistic this year that we're going to have lots of, positive royal news to discuss.
Definitely. And we are kicking it off with some positive news. I mean, we're going back a little bit because we didn't get to discuss Christmas with the royals, but we'll briefly touch upon it because during King Charles's annual Christmas address, which he delivered at Fitzrovia Chapel, Charles referenced his own cancer diagnosis. He said, "From a personal point of view, I offer special heartfelt thanks to the selfless doctors and nurses who this year have supported me and other members of my family through the uncertainties and anxieties of illness and have helped provide the strength, care, and comfort we have needed." He added, "I am deeply grateful to all those who have offered us their own kind words of sympathy and encouragement." He emphasized in his speech the importance of helping one another through challenging times, saying all of us go through some form of suffering at some stage in our life, be it mental or physical. The degree to which we help one another and draw support from each other, be we people of faith or none, is a measure of our civilization as nations. This is what continually impresses me as my family and I meet with and listen to those who dedicate their lives to helping others. So this was definitely a moving speech, a personal speech, and he did break a little bit of tradition in this speech as well.
Yeah, this was one of the first speeches that was not filmed inside a royal residence. He went to the Fitzrovia Chapel, reportedly to sort of make it more appealing to everyone, sort of take him out of that pedestal of a palace and put him into a more visible, down-to-earth setting. The King's Christmas speech every year, it's a Christmas tradition, and it's really an opportunity for the monarch to touch base with everybody, and to really get an important message out there. This year, unsurprisingly, using his platform to share his own cancer experience, but also, to thank those supporting everyone with cancer and really to make it about, the larger, greater good.
Definitely. And Princess Kate also shared a rare comment on her cancer journey while speaking to fans after the royal family's Christmas Day service. In footage that was obtained by the Daily Mail, she said the amount of people who have written this year is extraordinary, and I think cancer just really does resonate with so many families. While addressing a fan who worked in a cancer unit, she continued saying, "People like you are doing all the hard work out there. I'm hugely grateful." Now, after one woman told Kate, "We're all behind you, never forget that," she replied with a smile saying, "Thank you very much. That's so kind." It was so great to see Kate and the family at the Christmas walkabout, and she looks healthy. So hopefully she can continue these positive vibes into this new year.
Yes, I think she looked so happy, healthy. I love the videos that we saw popping up where William is like calling the security guards to hurry her along because I think so many people wanted to see her and say hello to her, but I think she wanted to say hello to them. Just as, like she said, so many people have written to her and shown her support, and I think this is her way of thanking everybody for that.
Definitely. But the year did start off on a somber note for the royal family because Prince William expressed his condolences after learning his former nanny's stepson, Ed Pettifer, was one of the victims in the New Orleans attack on New Year's Day. He said, "Catherine and I have been shocked and saddened by the tragic death of Ed Pettifer. Our thoughts and prayers remain with the Pettifer family and all those innocent people who have been tragically impacted by this horrific attack." He signed the note with a W, his personal designation, based on his first initial. This was such a horrific tragedy that happened in New Orleans on January 1st. And it's tragic that it was also tied to the royal family. And I'm sure this was somebody that he probably knew for quite some time.
I mean, it's an incredible coincidence that this man from the UK was in New Orleans and this tragic event occurred. And I'm sure it sort of seems strange to William and Catherine, who are worried about sort of this terrible event, that it sort of comes back to them in a personal way. And I think that, sort of acknowledging there were so many questions about how William knew him and were they still close, and it sort of turns into a story all on its own. But I think William saying that, he's thinking of his family and all of the families affected by this was really the right thing to do.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, let's switch gears because this was some big news at the top of the year because Meghan Markle kicked off the new year with some big news. Not only did she return to Instagram, we've been talking about this for a while, but she announced her forthcoming Netflix series, With Love, Meghan. She captioned an Instagram video on January 2nd saying, "I've been so excited to share this with you. I hope you love the show as much as I loved making it. Wishing you all a fantastic new year. Thanks to our amazing crew and the team at Netflix. Beyond grateful for the support and fun." Now, dropped the trailer for her highly anticipated series, announcing that it's set to premiere later this month. And the show will feature the Duchess of Sussex and maybe her husband, Prince Harry, to make a small cameo in the trailer, along with some of her friends, including Mindy Kaling, who actually told Deadline, "I was just in my maternity leave and Meghan texted me and said, 'Hey, do you want to come be on my show? Come to Montecito and have me cook for you.' And I was like, 'Yeah, that sounds perfect. I would love to do that.'" She said that she considered herself an okay cook, but Meghan, unsurprisingly, kind of blew her out of the water, adding the thing about her recipes and being there is that it's just really accessible. She has a garden from scratch, which I could never do, and chickens, they'd probably all die if I tried to take care of chickens. I was like, oh, this is very accessible. So what was your first reaction when you saw this trailer? We've been talking about where is this project for Meghan for so long, and I guess she was waiting for 2025.
Yeah, if you go way, way back, we talked about how the best thing they could do is really lay low and almost do nothing for a year. And actually, maybe that's exactly what happened in 2024. She has hit 2025 running back on Instagram, launching this show. I think it looks great. Like it looks really good. When you compare it to all of the other things that are really gaining so much popularity right now, Martha Stewart's documentary was hugely popular. Ina Garten just had her memoir come back. She's really seeing a resurgence. So I think this sort of accessible cooking from your garden, entertaining your friends thing is very on trend right now. There's lots of things that people could really nitpick and pick apart. It does look like it's her friends that she's invited on the show. But then again, maybe that's the point. I mean, that's what Ina Garten does on Barefoot Contessa. She always has her friends over for dinner. So I am excited to see this and see where it goes, if it takes off. And I'm mostly just excited that we've seen a whole project come to completion.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely excited to see her, enter this new phase and, see where it takes us. It takes us in a couple weeks. Like we said, a lot of people have different opinions about this. So many celebrities, including her Suits co-star Abigail Spencer, shared their excitement for the show. But Meghan McCain spoke out saying, "The With Love Meghan is an ill-advised move." She wrote on X, "All of this, even in the trailer, is highly curated, produced, and out of touch." She wrote, noting that America is in a period of uncertainty at the moment. She said, "I would have told her to do a show helping bring fresh food to food deserts in low-income neighborhoods. Do something to help people instead of your ego." We said you can't please everybody.
You're not going to please everybody, considering how much work Megan does do for low-income families, new mothers, the way she worked with the World Kitchen. I mean, this just sort of seems like you're just taking shots because you want to, rather than, we haven't seen the show. Maybe there is a tremendous amount of charitable work, and a lot of it is like raising your own chickens, which aren't, I mean, they're not cheap, but it's not hard. I have chickens, and growing your own vegetables, which can be, economically effective. So I think we should wait and see before we throw out all our criticism.
100%. Can't judge a book by its cover. All right, well, let's break down the royal rules and ask the question, will this new rebrand of Meghan sink or swim? We caught up with PR expert David Johnson to get his expertise. The last time we spoke, you said, the best thing for them to do is kind of lay low for a while, which I feel like they kind of did for the latter half of, last year. Do you think that that was a good thing? Do you feel like people miss them now, or do you think that like they should have waited a little bit more time and maybe planned this return a little bit more strategically?
I think they should have waited a little bit more strategically. I don't think it's a good time. There's still concerns about Prince Charles. There's more and more talk about his health. Will there be a shortened reign for Prince Charles? That's the last thing you want right now, is Harry and Meghan back on the stage getting headlines, especially if they cause any distress, the royal family, if they say anything negative toward this rebrand, that could work to their detriment. And the final thing is, right now is not the time that you do the relaunch. Not with everything that we are seeing in the news. America had the terrorist attack. You've seen over in Great Britain, people are fearful of their energy being cut off with the new Labor government, other economic distress. this is not the time to be talking about the lifestyles of the rich and famous.
So what do you think about this show? Sink or swim?
I think it's going to sink. That's what I truly believe. I think her damage right now, her brain is so damaged in both the Great Britain and the United States that it's going to take a very long time for her to recover. I think she would be smarter if she really stepped away from the limelight. I would say for her, for at least a year or two, so people are really interested when she comes back. It hasn't been long enough, and it looks like she's desperate just to get back into that limelight, that she misses it, and she'll do anything to be in it.
All right, well, let's wrap it up with our pint-sized palace. And Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis are all set to attend Princess Kate's former school, Marlborough College, according to insiders. So the Wales children all currently attend Lambrook School, which educates students until the age of 13. As Prince George is now 11, rumors have been circulating for quite some time as to where the future king will spend his formative years. But now, sources have told the Mail on Sunday that the Princess of Wales is likely to select Wiltshire School for her 3 children, that the discussion has not become a matter of if Prince George will attend when he's 13, but which house he will call home. If it is confirmed that George will be a student at Marlborough, it will be the first time a male heir attends a co-educational school. So what do you think about this?
I love this. I really think this is the best move. Kate and her sister and brother all spoke about how much they love Marlborough College. It is very highly regarded, very well respected. And there's so many reasons that this makes sense. It's only about an hour from Windsor Castle, so they can board when they want to very easily and really immerse themselves in that very normal experience. They can also easily go home at the weekends, at breaks, if they need to. They're very close if there was ever an issue to be sort of whisked back to Windsor Castle. I also think that the fact that it's co-educational is probably a huge point for it, because William and Kate, they clearly don't want to separate their children. Having William and George and Louis go to one school and Charlotte go to another just doesn't seem a part of their ethos as parents. You know, they're so big on being a team and being a family unit. So I'm sure that that was, a huge part in this decision, if this is indeed what they have decided. But I think it's a great call. It's slightly less elitist than some of the other schools that were under consideration. It's a little bit slightly more down to earth as far as these private boarding schools go. So I am crossing my fingers for Marlborough. I think it would be a great choice.
Definitely. And well, it feels like they are a little bit more down to earth and open to, making changes and kind of breaking tradition in a way. And I feel like they do whatever's best for their children. So I think that this, like you said, this is the right move. All right, well, that is it for this week's episode of Royally Us. Christine, thank you so much as always. We started the new year off on a good note.
Yes, I'm hoping it continues. I really am optimistic about this year.
Definitely. All right, well, keep commenting, keep subscribing, and we'll see you next week.